Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ric Blackwell. President Obama is calling for higher wages today, but he says some lawmakers just don't get it.
And I know there are workers here in Charlotte and across the country that are organizing for higher wages. It's time that we stood alongside them and made it happen.
President Obama says America deserves a raise. Speaking of raises, fast food workers protest for a higher minimum wage across the country today.
We're fighting for a $15 minimum wage because we feel that that's what we need and that's what we deserve, and it's only humane.
McDonald's plans to raise the minimum wage to $9 an hour at all company-owned stores, but that only applies to about 1 in 10 locations in the U.S. Police investigate the pilot who landed a small helicopter on Capitol Hill today. They arrested him shortly after he safely landed the so-called gyrocopter. The Tampa Bay Times reports the 61-year-old pilot was making a political statement about campaign financing. Local roads were closed for a little while. Also on Capitol Hill, Nevada Senator Harry Reid takes shots at possible Republican presidential candidates.
You know, I don't really care. I think they're all losers.
But Senator Reid does have a favorite, Hillary Clinton. No surprise there. Speaking of Hillary Clinton, if you take a look at her Twitter profile, you'd think she'd have millions of fans, but that number might be misleading. Twitter auditing tool statuspeople.com says less than half of her followers are legitimate. The rest are either fake accounts or inactive, meaning they never tweet or reply to any tweets. A setback for Joe Arpaio, the man who bills himself as America's toughest sheriff. Federal court has upheld an order that bans the Arizona sheriff and his officers from detaining someone based solely on the suspicion that they might be an illegal immigrant. 2 years ago, a lower court said the stops were unconstitutional. We're hearing from the jury that found former NFL star Aaron Hernandez guilty of murder today.
Would it have made a difference to you had he taken the witness stand?
Depends on what he had to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Were you hoping he might?
I don't think we ever expected him to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, after the verdict, Hernandez was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the 2013 murder of Odin Lloyd. Rents are on the rise across the country. Over the past 5 years, rent prices have gone up 14%, according to new numbers. Experts say with more people getting back to work, that's driving even more people into the rental market and driving up prices. This year alone, rents in Denver are expected to go up nearly 10%. And in the nation's capital today, historians and tourists gathered outside Ford's Theater to mark the 150th anniversary of the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. They lit candles and held a ceremony right there outside the Ford Theater. And that's your Newsmax Now update. More news coming your way in 30 minutes.